Also, nobody knows what their business is worth. If I ask you how many owners you've talked to, I think I have found maybe 2 in 12 years who even had an inkling of an idea and what that meant that the multiples would be. So with the multiples, you can see they do not change a lot, but they are fairly steady at that lower, less than 500K purchase price. The multiples have been about around 2 since Q4 of 2013. So those businesses that sold in Q4 have had about a 2 SDE multiple. SDE is seller's discretionary earnings. EBITDA is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Those that sell less than $1 million in purchase price typically are an SDE. Those that sell 5 million and above are typically an EBITDA, and that 1 to 2 million could go either way. And now that 2 to 5 million can go either way. Raymond asked, is all the businesses from all sectors or a list of businesses included here? This is the 300 and some across all sectors that sold last quarter from those who answered the MarketPulse. What was the average selling price by the percent of the asking or benchmark price? For those that sold in Q4 of 2023, those that sold less than 500K got, on average, 86% of what they went to market for. Those and at selling price of asking price, typically a Main Street business will go out with an asking price. A lower middle market will have a benchmark price. So you can see the benchmark prices, the estimation was less than what they actually got in enterprise value. And that leaves 110%. I wish I had a pointer I could go show. But 110% in Q4 2023, which is on your right-hand side. I'm assuming, is that right hand when you're looking at it? Right-hand side. That is this quarter. We go back to 2020 Q4 and we can see, you know, things were fairly similar. But what you are noticing across the trends are that either pricing is too high on the lower part by the time they get to asking versus benchmark price, or the buyer is not perceiving the value of the asking price.
Lisa, what do you, I know I should probably know this, but I'm going to ask you, is the asking price, do you think people assume that's like the asking price, like the asking price right before the offer is made and it goes under contract, or you think we're not talking about the original asking price potentially, right? So we don't
know.
That may come down and then the last asking price is a little bit closer. We don't really know that, I guess. Yeah, maybe a good question for a survey, but
it would be a good question. The intent was always the original asking price, but people don't always like to show that big a difference.
Yeah.
You know, when you hit the market. So, you know, the data is only as good as the people who respond.
Yep.
And unfortunately, that's probably one we can never get. The original price that goes out.
But it's probably the last asking price. It's probably what's for the Main Street. It's probably what's on Biz by Sell right before it sells. Yep. Is my guess. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, you know, when we talk to our clients, cash at closing, approximately 80%. But what does that mean? Who gets 80%? What is going on there? Well, you can see in Q4 of 2024, the one on your right column, that cash at close for that Main Street less than 500K business was only about 3/4 of that purchase price. And cash at close is from the seller perspective. However, the buyer wants to pay for it, meaning lending, SBA lender, or whatever, they got the cash. So they walk away at closing. As you can see, there are, little trends going on now and then, and it depends upon the industry, but we're not sure, where those industry are yet, because we don't have enough numbers of closed deals. Now we do when we can go back year over year, and we have about 1,700 closed deals, I believe, last year. So we can start taking that apart when there's time. So if they're not getting cash at closing, the next biggest one is seller financing. This is one of those critical items, and I always pull it out because my whole goal in using this information is to make more money, get good clients, make sure our expectations are in alignment. This is one that I show pretty much all the time when they're telling me they only want 100% cash at closing. And I don't care what level they are, everybody thinks it's cash at closing. So, here's one that I say, it's probably not going to get all of it all at once. You're going to have to do some expectations, and let's work with your financial advisor and your accountant to make sure that that additional is going to get there and that it's going to come in handy. When I'm working with those larger deals, I am always like, okay, guys, earnouts are coming. We've seen the increase. They are going to be here for a while. No. It's a way to bridge that gap between what a seller wants and what a buyer thinks the business is worth. Sellers hate earnouts. But sometimes it's the only way, as shown in what's going on.